Welcome to today's Vinyasa Flow yoga practice. Today we'll be doing a class themed around balance. To start, come into child's pose by bringing your knees as wide as the mat, your big toes to touch behind you, and pressing your hips back towards your heels. Relax your forehead on the mat and stretch your arms out in front of you. Start to deepen your breathing here, relaxing your body more and more on each exhale. If you would like to set an intention for today's class, you can do that now. Perhaps your intention might be to practice without attachment. It might be to have fun, or it could be to challenge yourself. Whatever intention you'd like to set, just repeat it to yourself a few times. Let it be your guiding mantra for this class. Let's take a few more deep breaths here. Now we're going to begin with some gentle warm-up exercises. We'll start with child's pose twist. So on your next inhale, raise your head slightly and bring your right arm underneath your left arm. Relax your head back on the mat, looking towards the left side. Breathe here. Just taking a couple more deep breaths here. And then let's swap to the other side. So stretch your right arm out in front of you, and then bring your left arm underneath your right arm, stretching it away from you. Drop your head back down onto the mat, looking to the right, and relax. Breathe here. Just scan through your body and ensure you're not holding on to any unnecessary tension. And we're just taking a final few deep breaths here. Then come back into your child's pose, stretching both arms out in front of you, forehead on the mat. Then on your next inhale, bring yourself up into a tabletop position. You want to ensure that your wrists are directly under your shoulders and your knees are directly under your hips. Let's just stretch out the wrists by gently leaning forward and And then let's stretch them the other way by turning the palms upwards so that your fingers are pointing towards you and then leaning backwards slightly. And then bring your wrists so that they're connected in the middle and your fingers are pointing to each side, and gently rock from side to side. Bring your hands back into their normal position for tabletop pose. And then let's just start with a few cat-cows to warm up the back. Start in a neutral spine position, looking at the mat, and then inhale, arch your lower back, open your chest and look up. As you exhale, tuck your pelvis, press into your hands and drop your chin towards your chest. Inhale, arch your lower back, open your chest, look up. Exhale, tuck your pelvis, press into your hands and drop your chin towards your chest. Inhale, coming into cow pose, arching your back, look up. Exhale, pressing into cat pose, rounding your back as much as you can. And inhale, come back into your neutral spine position, coming back into tabletop. Ensure that your fingers are spread nice and wide, then tuck your toes, and on an inhale breath, lift your knees slightly, 1 inch away from the mat. Keep pressing the floor away from you, keep your core engaged, and see if you can get your knees even closer to the mat. Breathe here, keep pressing the floor away from you, we're nearly there. And drop your knees down onto the mat and gently push your hips back towards your heels to release your wrists. Okay, let's go for a second round. Come back up into tabletop with your toes tucked. And inhale, lift your knees 1 inch above the mat. Keep pressing the floor away from you. See if you can get your knees a little bit closer. And then on your next exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Hips pointing up towards the sky. And pedal out the feet, bending one knee and then the other. Then press both heels down towards the mat and gently start to walk up to the top of the mat, ending in a forward fold. If you would like to, you can grab onto your opposite elbows. Again, if you'd like to, you can rock from side to side. Just allow your head to be heavy. Then release your hands to the ground and slowly roll up to standing, keeping your chin tucked to your chest until the very end. Come to stand in mountain pose at the top of your mat, so your feet are together. You're standing up straight, your pelvis is slightly tucked, your shoulders are relaxed. And let's get ready to begin with sun salutations. On your next inhale, raise your arms, palms touch, look towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, bringing your hands down onto the mat, looking towards your belly button. Inhale, halfway lift, bring your hands onto your shins, your chest is open, you have a flat back. Exhale, forward fold, bringing your hands down onto the mat, looking towards your belly button. Inhale, step back into high plank, fingers are spread wide, press the floor away from you. Exhale, chaturanga, keep your elbows close to your body, engage your core. Inhale, upward facing dog, opening your chest to the sky, dropping your hips low. Exhale, downward facing dog, breathe here. Fingers are spread wide, you're pressing into the center of your palms. You're pressing your upper body towards your thighs and your heels are pressing down towards the mat. Let's take 2 more deep, long breaths here in our downward facing dog. is a good time to notice whether your breath has sped up, and if so, just slow it back down. Deep, long inhales, deep, long exhales. If you have Ujjayi breath in your practice, you can choose to use that throughout the class instead. Otherwise, just deep breaths. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward, step to the front of the mat, coming into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, look towards your belly button. Inhale, come all the way up, stretch your arms up, palms touch. Exhale, come back into your mountain pose. Third round, inhale, raise your arms, press your palms together, look towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, looking towards your belly button, bringing your hands down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, bring your hands onto your shins, open your chest, you have a flat back. Exhale, forward fold, looking towards your belly button. Inhale, step back into your high plank, fingers are spread wide and you're pressing the floor away from you. Exhale, chaturanga, engage your core, squeeze those elbows close to the body. Inhale, upward facing dog, open your chest, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog, breathe here. Deep, long inhales, deep, long exhales. Taking 2 more deep breaths here. And inhale, bend your knees, look forward, step to the front of the mat, coming into your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, palms touch, look towards your thumbs. And exhale into your mountain pose. Fourth round, let's go. Inhale, raise your arms, palms touch, look towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, looking towards your belly button. Inhale, come into your halfway lift, your chest is open, you have a flat back. Exhale, forward fold, bringing your hands down onto the mat. Inhale, step back into your high plank, your hips are in line with your shoulders, you're pressing the floor away from you. Exhale, chaturanga, squeeze your elbows close to your body, keep looking forward, spine is straight. Inhale, open your chest, come into your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, breathe here. Deep, long inhales and deep, long exhales. As you're in your downward facing dog, you want to make sure that your spine is nice and straight, you're not rounding it, neither are you arching your back. You're pointing your hips directly up to the sky. And if you need to move around once you're in your down dog, that's also fine. If you need to reposition your hands or your feet, please do. And inhale, bend your knees, look forward, step to the front of the mat, coming into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, palms touch, look towards your thumbs. Exhale, mountain pose. Let's take the final round of sun salutation. Inhale, arms up, palms touch, look towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back into your high plank. Your fingers are spread wide. You're pressing the floor away from you. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Again, just noticing if your breath has sped up, and if so, just regulating it. Bringing it back into nice, long, slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. Final breath here. And inhale, bend your knees, look forward, step to the front of the mat, coming into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, palms touch, look towards your thumbs. And exhale into your mountain pose, breathe here, well done. Let's just take a few deep breaths here before we move on. You can close your eyes if you would like to. Relax your shoulders, relax your forehead, breathe. Just taking a couple more deep breaths here before we move on. And for the remainder of the class, on each vinyasa, you can either choose to continue with chaturanga, then upward facing dog, or you can choose to instead do Ashtanga Namaskara by bringing your knees, chest and chin to the ground and then going into Cobra pose. Let's begin. Inhale, raise your arms up, palms touch, look towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, looking towards your belly button. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shins, you have a flat back. Exhale, forward fold, bringing your hands down onto the mat. Inhale, step back into your high plank, pressing the floor away from you, hips in line with your shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin to the ground, looking forwards. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. On your next inhale, step your right foot between your hands and then raise your arms and your upper body coming into your high lunge. Ensure that your knee is directly over your ankle and your back leg is nice and straight. Keep your shoulders away from your ears and make sure you're not leaning your torso forwards. Keep it centered. Breathe here. On your next exhale, open out into Warrior Two by bringing the sole of your back foot onto the floor and your arms parallel to the ground. You're looking over your right hand. Again, make sure that your torso is centered and you're not leaning forwards. And on your next inhale, flip your front palm, reach forwards and come into your reverse warrior. Your backhand can either be on your back leg or reaching around your lower back to reach onto your front thigh. You're looking up at your right hand, breathe here. On your next exhale, bring your right hand to rest on your thigh and bring your left arm overhead. Look under your left armpit, coming into side angle. If this is okay for you, you can stay here. Otherwise, you can go deeper into the pose by bringing your right hand onto the ground in front of your right foot and stretching your left arm directly upwards. Look towards your left thumbs. Wherever you are, make sure that your chest is open. And on your next inhale, bring yourself back up into your reverse warrior, looking up at your right hand. And exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot, step back into your downward facing dog. Breathe here. Take a couple deep breaths before we move on to the other side. And on your next inhale, step your left foot between your hands. And again, come up into your high lunge, stretching your arms up towards the sky. Keep a deep bend in your front leg with your knee stacking over your ankle and keep your back leg nice and strong. And on your next exhale, open out into your Warrior Two, bringing the sole of your back foot onto the mat and your arms parallel to the ground. You're looking over your left hand this time, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. On your next inhale, flip your front palm, reach forwards and come into your reverse warrior. Now remember, reverse warrior is a side stretch, not a back bend. So if you're feeling it a lot in your lower back, you need to turn your torso a little bit more to the side. Last breath. And exhale, bring your left arm to rest on your thigh and bring your right arm overhead, coming into side angle. Option to stay here, otherwise you can go deeper by bringing your left hand onto the mat in front of your left foot and stretching your right arm directly upwards. Look towards your right thumb. Ensure that you keep your back leg strong by pressing the outer edge of your foot into the mat. And inhale, come back into your reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame your front foot, and this time you're going to step back into high plank. Take a deep inhale breath here, and then let's take our vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga or knees chest into the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Again, this is a point to check in on your breathing. Notice if it's become faster and shallower, and just regulate your breathing here. Deep inhales, deep exhales. We're going to do a second round of that same flow, but this time moving a little bit faster. So on your next inhale, step your right foot between your hands and come up into your high lunge. Exhale, open out into your warrior two. Inhale, flip your front palm, come into your reverse warrior. Exhale, come down into your chosen version of side angle. Inhale, come back into your reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot, step back into downward facing dog, straight into the other side. Inhale, step your left foot between your hands, come up into high lunge. Exhale, open out into warrior two. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, back to your reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, and this time we're going to take a vinyasa. So inhale, step back into your high plank. Exhale, chaturanga or knees chest chin to the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. Let's take a rest here. Drop your knees as wide as the mat, bring your big toes together, and press your hips back towards your heels, coming into child's pose. Completely relax. If you would like to, you can bring your arms by your side to release your shoulders and your wrists. Breathe here. Scan through your body and see where you're holding on to unnecessary tension, and try to relax a little bit more into the pose. Just taking a few more deep breaths in this resting pose. If you have your arms by your side, you can stretch them back out in front of you. And then slowly make your way back into your downward facing dog. Let's go into the second sequence, which is going to test your balance a little bit more. On your next inhale, step your right foot between your hands, and this time you're going to plant your left hand into the mat, and on an inhale, raise your right arm directly up and look towards your right thumb. Keep your back leg nice and strong. Breathe here. You really want to think about opening your chest and creating a straight line from your bottom hand all the way to your top hand. Then, on your next inhale, raise your upper body up whilst maintaining the twist, so you will find yourself looking backwards at your right hand whilst your left arm stretches forwards. Keep the deep bend in your front knee and don't allow the knee to open out to the side. On your next inhale, sweep your right hand around and turn to face the front, coming into your high lunge. Exhale, hands to prayer at your heart center. Inhale, hook your left elbow on your right thigh, and as you exhale, press your top hand into your bottom hand and twist to look over your right shoulder. Again, keeping your back leg nice and strong. On every exhale, see if you can twist a little bit more. Allow the crown of your head to drop towards the front of the mat. Breathe. Inhale, come back to center, facing the front. Exhale, frame your front foot and step back into your downward facing dog. Good job. Take a breath here and then let's go on to the other side. Inhale, step your left foot between your hands and this time plant your right hand into the mat. And on an inhale, raise your left arm up towards the sky and look towards your left thumb. Again, you're trying to create a nice long straight line from your bottom hand to your top hand, keeping your chest open. On your next inhale, raise your upper body, maintaining the twist, so you'll end up looking backwards at your left hand whilst your right arm stretches to the front. And on your next inhale, sweep your arm round, come into high lunge, looking forwards. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your heart center. Inhale, hook your right elbow on your left thigh. And exhale, twist to look over your left shoulder. Press your top hand into your bottom hand to help you twist more. Eventually, you'll be able to get your thumbs at the center of your chest. Keep looking over your shoulder. We're here for one more deep breath. Nice job. And inhale, come back to center, looking forwards. Exhale, frame your front foot, and this time we're going into a vinyasa. Inhale, step back into your high plank. Exhale, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin to the ground. Inhale into your upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale into your downward facing dog. And let's take another very well-deserved rest. Drop your knees as wide as the mat. Bring your big toes together and press back into your child's pose. Again, if you would like to, you can bring your arms by your side. Wherever you are, close your eyes and completely relax. Just taking a few more deep breaths in this resting pose. If your arms are by your side, you can bring them back out in front of you. And then slowly make your way back up into your downward facing dog. We're coming into the final flow sequence now, testing your balance to the maximum. So on your next inhale, step your right foot between your hands and come straight up into your high lunge. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your heart center. Inhale, lean your weight forwards into your front leg and then come up into your warrior three. Now remember, in warrior three, the objective is to have a strong standing leg and for the rest of your body to be in a straight line. Keep your back foot either flexed or pointed, engage your core, breathe. On your next inhale, slowly lever yourself up to standing, not allowing your left leg to touch the floor, and then cross it over your right leg, sitting down into eagle pose. Once you are stable in eagle, you're going to bring your hands into eagle as well by bringing your left arm under your right and crossing again at the wrists if you can. See if you can sit down a little bit lower into the pose. Squeeze everything into the center line. Keep your chest lifted. Breathe. We're nearly there. And inhale, slowly unravel your top leg. Straighten your standing leg and come back into warrior three, keeping your arms in eagle. We're just here for a breath. And exhale, slowly drop your back leg to the ground in high lunge. Release your arms, stretch them up. And exhale, frame your front foot, step back into your downward facing dog. Take a breath and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. And inhale, step your left foot forwards this time, coming up into your high lunge. Exhale, hands to prayer at your heart center. Inhale, start to lean your weight forwards into your front leg and slowly bring yourself up into your warrior three. Again, keeping your standing leg nice and strong, keeping your back foot either flexed or pointed and making sure your hip is not opening out to the side. Inhale, slowly lever yourself up, but don't let your foot touch the ground. Bring your right leg to cross over your left leg, sitting down into eagle legs. Once you're stable, bring your arms into eagle by crossing your right arm under your left and crossing again at the wrists if you can. Lift your elbows up a little bit, sit down lower into your chair. Engage your core, keep your eyes still. We are nearly there. And slowly unravel your top leg, straighten your standing leg, and come back into your warrior three with eagle arms. Again, we're just here for a breath. Keep your standing leg strong. Slowly drop your back leg to the ground. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, frame your front foot, and this time we're taking a vinyasa. Inhale, step back into high plank. Exhale, chaturanga, or knees just chin to the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. Drop your knees as wide as the mat, big toes together, and come into your child's pose. Completely relax, let everything go. Enjoy your rest. Well done. We are through with the standing series. We've finished that dynamic flow, working on our balance, and we're coming into the floor series and then relaxation. So just take a few more deep breaths here in child's pose before we move on. And slowly make your way back up into your downward facing dog. We're coming into half pigeon pose now, so bring your right knee onto the mat just behind your right wrist. Drop your left knee and then walk your left foot as far away from you as you can. Come up onto your fingertips. Inhale, open your chest, look up. And exhale, fold forwards. Make sure that you're lengthening your spine as you fold. Option 1, you can come onto your forearms. Option 2, you can make a pillow with your hands and drop your forehead down onto that. Option 3, you can stretch your arms away from you and drop your forehead directly onto the mat. Wherever you are, make sure that your hips stay centered and you're not falling over to one side. And as we stay here for a couple of minutes, if you'd like to come deeper into the pose, you can do that by just trying to walk your left foot a little bit further away from you. Keep breathing deeply and try as much as possible to relax into the pose, releasing tension wherever you find it. Just taking the last few deep breaths here. And slowly start to walk your hands close to your body to bring your upper body up. Tuck your back toes, walk your foot in a little bit, and then take a deep inhale breath. And as you exhale, step back into your downward facing dog. Let's go straight into the other side. Drop your left knee behind your left wrist. Drop your right knee onto the floor and then walk your right foot back as far as you can. Again, come up onto your fingertips. Inhale, open your chest, look up. And exhale, fold forwards and down. Option 1 to come onto your forearms. Option 2, make a pillow with your hands. Or option 3, stretch your arms out in front of you and drop your forehead onto the mat. You don't have to do the same thing you did on the other side. Do whatever feels right in your body for this side. And completely relax. Breathe here. And again, slowly start to walk your hands closer to your body, bringing your upper body all the way up. And again, tuck your back toes, start to walk your foot in a little bit, take a deep inhale breath. And exhale, press back into your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, drop your left knee, untuck your toes. Bring your right hand onto your right knee, take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, open that knee outwards, coming onto the outer edge of your foot and twist to look over your right shoulder. You can stay here, or if you would like to, you can pick up your left foot with your right hand. Wherever you are, keep pressing the floor away from you with your left hand and keep looking over your right shoulder. We're here for a couple more deep breaths. And release. Bring your right hand back down onto the ground and the sole of your right foot back to the ground. Tuck your back toes and on an inhale breath, lift your knee. Breathe here. Keep looking down at the space between your hands and keep your hips nice and low. If you would like to, you can come into a bind by bringing your right arm under your right thigh and connecting it with your left hand behind your lower back. Wherever you are, keep breathing deeply and keep your back legs straight and strong. If you're in a bind, release it and bring your hands back down onto the mat. Everyone take a deep inhale and exhale, step back into your downward facing dog. Let's go into the other side. Inhale, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand, drop your right knee and untuck your toes. Bring your left hand onto your left knee, take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, press that knee outwards, come onto the outer edge of your foot, look over your left shoulder. Again, option to stay here, or you can pick up your right foot with your left hand. Wherever you are, keep pressing the floor away from you with your right hand and looking over your left shoulder. And release, gently bring your left hand back down onto the mat and your sole of your left foot onto the ground. Tuck your back toes and on an inhale breath, lift your back knee. Keep looking down at the floor between your hands, keep your hips low. If you would like to come into a bind, bring your left arm under your left thigh and connect it behind you with your right hand. Breathe here. And release, bring your hands back down onto the mat. Take a deep inhale breath and exhale, step back into your downward facing dog. Let's take the final vinyasa of the class. Inhale, roll forwards into a high plank. Exhale, chaturanga or knees, chest and chin to the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to come through to sit, so bend your knees, look forwards, and step your feet about halfway up the mat, and then just gently bring your hips down and come to sit in Dandasana. So your legs are straight, your feet are flexed, your hands are on the mat by your hips, and your chest is open. Let's move on to a seated spinal twist. Bend your right knee and bring your foot as close to your hips as you can. Bring your right hand behind you and inhale, stretch your left arm up to the sky. Exhale, connect your elbow with the outside of your knee and twist to look over your right shoulder. Internally rotate your left arm and wrap it around your shin, connecting it with your right hand behind you, coming into a bind. On every exhale, see if you can twist a little bit deeper and look further over your right shoulder. We're here for 2 more deep, long breaths. Good job, and release your bind. Turn back to the front, and let's do the other side. Stretch your right leg away from you. Take a breath in Dandasana. And then bend your left knee, bringing your foot as close to your hips as possible. Your left arm is behind you. Inhale, stretch your right arm up to the sky. As you exhale, connect your elbow with the outside of your knee and twist to look over your left shoulder. Rotate your arm and wrap it around your shin and connect your arms behind you. Again, on every exhale, see if you can twist a little bit deeper and keep looking over that left shoulder. We're here for 2 more deep breaths. Good job, and release your bind and slowly turn back to the center. Stretch your left leg away from you, again taking a deep breath in Dandasana. Let's come into butterfly now, so bring both the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to fall outwards. Use your hands to open the soles of your feet towards the ceiling as if you're opening a book. Keep your shoulders away from your ears and your back nice and straight. And as you exhale, start to press your knees outwards towards the ground. Now let's come into a forward fold. So first, adjust your grip by clasping your hands together underneath your feet. Inhale, open your chest, look up, and exhale, fold forwards. Allow your head to hang heavy, and make sure that you're not rounding your back. We're just taking a few more deep breaths here. And slowly release, bringing yourself back up into an upright position. Use your hands to help you close your knees together. And then keeping your knees bent, just bring your upper body down onto the mat so you're lying on your back. We're going to take a supine spinal twist now. Bring your arms out into a T shape. Then on your next inhale, bring your legs up to a 90-degree angle. Cross your right leg over your left and cross again at the ankles if you would like to. Take a deep inhale breath, and as you exhale, drop both knees over to the left, then turn your head to look towards your right hand. Close your eyes, breathe here. Last deep breath here. And on your next inhale, come back to center, lifting your knees back up, uncrossing them, and bringing your head back to center. Now cross your left leg over your right, crossing again at the ankles if you would like to. Take a deep inhale breath, and as you exhale, drop both knees over to the right side and turn your head towards the left. Again, close your eyes and breathe here, relaxing every muscle. Taking one more deep breath here. And inhale, come back to center, uncross your legs, and squeeze both knees into your chest. You can gently rock from side to side. And then we're going to finish today's asana practice on shoulder stand. So bring your feet back down onto the mat, and on an inhale, rock your hips up into your hands. Walk your hands as far up your back as you can, and bring your elbows as close together as possible under your body. When you're ready, stretch your legs up straight into the air, keeping your ankles connected. Once you're in this position, try not to move your head or your neck around. You can close your eyes if you'd like to, otherwise you're just looking towards your navel and taking a few deep breaths here. Last deep breath. Now you can either slowly roll down to lie down, but if you'd like to come into plow pose, you're going to gently drop your feet behind the head. Allow Allow your toes to come all the way to the floor, and once they connect, release your hands down onto the mat with your palms facing down. Then from here, slowly roll yourself down onto the ground. Let's take fish pose as a quick counter pose. Bring your hands underneath your hips with your palms facing down. Come up onto your elbows and drop the crown of your head back onto the mat behind you. And slowly release, bringing your head down onto the ground. And then just bend your knees and windscreen wipe your legs from side to side. And then finally, come into your final resting pose by stretching your legs away from you. Allow your toes to fall out, arms are by your side with your palms facing upwards. Close your eyes and completely relax. We're going to take a few minutes of relaxation here. Just focus on really relaxing every muscle in your body and completely surrendering your weight to the ground below you. Now slowly start to bring some movement back into your body. You can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your head from side to side, just waking the body up. Then on your next inhale, raise your arms above your head and give yourself a nice stretch. And as you exhale, hug your knees in close to your chest and gently rock from side to side. Roll all the way over onto whichever side feels more comfortable. Just take a breath here. And then, keeping your eyes closed, push yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Now, keeping with the theme of balance, we're going to end today's class on a chakra meditation. So come into your chosen meditation asana and then start to deepen your breathing. Deep inhales through the nose, deep exhales through the nose. Now in your mind's eye, start to see a red ball of energy located at the base of your spine. This is your root chakra. See this red ball of energy. You may see it as spinning, glowing, whatever comes to mind, whatever works for you. But just focus on that ball of energy and know that as you do this, your root chakra is being cleansed, cleared, and charged. On your next inhale, see a red line of energy traveling up from your root chakra and hitting your sacral chakra between your navel and the base of your spine, an orange ball of energy. Again, focus on this chakra, and as you do this, know that it is being cleansed, cleared, and charged. On your next inhale, see an orange line of energy traveling up from your sacral chakra and hitting your solar plexus chakra at your belly button, a yellow ball of energy. Again, focus on this and see it being cleansed, cleared, and charged. On your next inhale, see a yellow line of energy traveling up from your solar plexus chakra and hitting your heart chakra at your heart center, a green ball of energy at the center of your chest. Focus on this chakra. See the movement of green energy in this chakra and know that it is being cleansed, cleared, and charged. Now see a green line of energy traveling up from your heart chakra and hitting your throat chakra, a blue ball of energy at the center of your throat. Again, see this energy moving and know that this chakra is being cleansed, cleared, and charged. Inhale and see a blue line of energy traveling up and hitting your third eye chakra, the point in between your eyebrows. And see this indigo ball of energy being cleared, cleansed, and charged. And then finally see an indigo line of energy traveling up to the crown of your head and see 1,000-petaled lotus open at the top of your head. All chakras in alignment. Now slowly release the visualization, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for joining today's practice. Welcome to today's Vinyasa Flow yoga practice. Today we'll be doing
Alright, cool. If you're staying for my guided meditation, then just hold on. I'm just gonna stop this video and then start it again.